So as you may know, the entire purpose of this channel is to find life-changing returns. One of the best ways of doing that is to be an early stage investor in assets that are on the cusp of a mega trend. The early stage investors in Bitcoin did it. The early stage investors in Amazon did it. So today we're going to talk about Polkadot. Could Polkadot provide life-changing returns? Well, this is the chart of Polkadot. It's a good start so far. The reason why most people don't make life-changing returns as markets is because they're afraid of charts that look like this. But here's an example of a chart that looked like that provided its investors with life-changing returns. Ethereum back in 2020. Had a massive pump, had a massive meltdown, was in a bear market, and then recovered. So is Polkadot in the same league? Can it skyrocket and provide those life-changing returns? That is the only question we try to answer on this channel. Now, before we get into updates from Gavin Wood, who's a genius computer scientist, founder of Ethereum, and now lead developer of the Polkadot ecosystem. Before we hear from him, let's dive into a massive game changer for this asset potentially. TikTok sale bidding heats. McCourt's $20 billion offer. So Frank McCourt is a multi-billionaire and he's trying to buy TikTok. What does this have to do with Polkadot? McCourt Global is a private family company that invests in real estate, sports technology, media, and capital investment. McCourt Global led a $6 million Series B investment round for MeWe to support the platform's migration to the decentralized social networking protocol. So this mega billionaire is a true Web3 believer. He believes that currently the digital world is like a medieval feudal society where the big landowners get all the value and the rest of us just kind of work the fields and don't have ownership of our data and our digital value. That's all accruing to the Amazons of the world. MeWe is a privacy-focused social network that allows users to join groups and control their data and news feeds. MeWe migrated to Frank McCourt's decentralized social networking protocol in September 2022, becoming the first platform to do so. MeWe social network with 20 users to integrate with Polkadot Parachain. And so the vision of Polkadot aligns with the vision of Frank McCourt. So he's bringing his social media enterprises onto Polkadot. Frequency is a blockchain that social media app MeWe uses to give its users more control over their data and identity. So what is Frequency, which has MeWe building on it, which is all part of the Polkadot ecosystem? What kind of numbers is it pushing out? Well, if we look at the last 30 days, Polkadot Parachains, NeuroWeb is number 1 over the last 30 days in terms of transactions. Frequency is number 2 with 10.3 million transactions, right? That's all Frank McCourt building on Polkadot, the same Frank McCourt that is trying to buy TikTok. Does not get bigger than that if he can bring TikTok on chain. McCourt, who formerly owned the Los Angeles Dodgers baseball team, said he has received verbal funding commitments totaling $20 billion from a consortium of investors to rescue the TikTok app from legal purgatory as it awaits a Supreme Court decision to determine if it will be forced to sell its U.S. operations. His vision for TikTok includes revamping the company's advertising model so that users will have control over the ads and type of content they want, taking power from the massive tech companies, decentralizing it, and giving it to the individuals. This is what Frank McCourt's all about. This is what TikTok is all about. Over time, TikTok could earn revenue through e-commerce and licensing data for artificial intelligence training models with users' consent, right? That's key, with users' consent, which will diminish the business's reliance on ads. TikTok's appeal to the Supreme Court is a last-ditch effort to overturn a law signed by President Biden that seeks to force a sale over national security concerns, or else the app will be banned on January 19th. So this is coming up. McCourt said he believes the Supreme Court will uphold the law, after which ByteDance could be open in negotiations. Until then, he is focused on smoothing the path to an acquisition. So he's been behind the scenes in Washington, D.C., making connections to ensure this happens, that he can get control over TikTok. McCourt said he and his team have had preliminary conversations with members of President-elect Donald Trump's incoming administration. This is huge. This is exactly what you want to see to make this deal happen. Getting close to the President-elect Donald Trump. That's what Frank McCourt is doing. So there's still a lot of unknowns, but what we do know is we have a super credible bid for TikTok, and if it wins, it will run on top of Polkadot. Does not get bigger than that because unlike MeWe's tens of millions of transactions every month, we're talking probably billions and billions of transactions every single month. The team is also speaking with potential CEO candidates for the new TikTok, McCourt said. So the next few weeks could be life-changing for Polkadot depending on how this shakes out. So while there's still a lot of unknowns around this potential deal, what we do know is multi-billionaires understand the potential of Polkadot. They're already building on it. So expect more of this in the future. Even if TikTok isn't running on Polkadot one day, other massive companies can just as easily run on top of Polkadot. And again, billionaires are starting to wake up to that fact. So we're still so early in this space. Now, the frequency parachain is just one parachain on Polkadot. There's lots of others. In previous videos, we've talked about Mythos, 3 million transactions in the last 30 days. What about NeuroWeb, the #1 parachain on Polkadot? Let's dive a little into what that one's all about. NeuroWeb is a decentralized AI blockchain that rewards knowledge creation and sharing. Its Neuro token supports the AI economy by incentivizing contributions to the Origin Trail decentralized knowledge graph. Essentially what they're trying to do is similar to what the Graph protocol is trying to do, create a knowledge graph for AI models to use. And it's picking up a lot of traction. And the NeuroWeb parachain, which runs on top of Polkadot, is benefiting from the growth of that asset. And again, that's just one example of what's going on. We talked about Mythos, we talked about frequency, we talked about Fala, we've talked about a lot of these parachains so far. And we could dive into the Origin Trail track token at a different time, but just one glimpse into this massive behemoth ecosystem. Then we have this from Gavin Wood. Again, there are very few computer scientists with the credentials of Gavin Wood. He's a PhD, one of the main founders of Ethereum. Vitalik Buterin gets a lot of credit. Gavin Wood should get the same, if not more credit than Vitalik Buterin for creating Ethereum. He's responded to this post saying game changer. So what's a game changer on Polkadot? HarborFi and VLabs bring instant Euro on-ramping to Polkadot. Harbor's magic ramp makes it seamless. Euro to USDC stablecoin in seconds, stablecoin withdrawals, virtual IBANs for builders, cross-border payments for users and merchants. So Gavin Wood is saying it's a game changer that stablecoins can now easily make their way onto Polkadot. Part of why Ethereum is so successful and has so much total value locked in the billions of dollars is the massive amount of stablecoins on chain. Same with Solana. Well, now Polkadot is making that super easy. Gavin Wood sees the vision for decentralized finance on Polkadot, and he's saying it's a game changer. This new technology is a game changer for Polkadot DeFi. And so why are billionaires flocking to this technology? Because it is some of the best technology in the game. Polkadot's live sister network officially achieved 143,000 transactions per second using 23 out of 100 cores and rock solid performance. That means 623,000 transactions per second at 100 out of 100 cores. So this speaks to the scalability of Polkadot technology. That's why serious players can even talk about bringing it on chain. There's no chance you could do this with Ethereum or a lot of other layer 1 blockchains. Now, in previous videos, we've talked about how Polkadot is also building a world computer so that the compute can also run on chain. That's what ICP has been building already. But Gavin Wood's team is one of the few teams in the blockchain space that actually sees the vision for a decentralized world computer that companies like TikTok can run on without needing Amazon Web Services or Google Cloud. Now, speaking to the revolutionary nature of Polkadot's technology and why it can scale up massively, unlike a lot of other blockchains, this is an update from Gavin Wood saying scale out, not up. Polkadot adds more validators and continues getting faster because it's built different. And Gavin Wood is saying scale out, not up. Again, genius computer science behind this technology. TikTok could potentially be built on top of it, so it seems set up for the next bull run. Easy 10x for Polkadot in the next bull run. Easy 10x. Can it 20x? Yes. Again, Cardano went from, let's say, 10 cents to $3. And when Cardano hit $3, it had a market cap of around $150 billion. If Polkadot, which has much better technology, were to reach the market cap of Cardano, it would have a price per token of $100. So any reasonable person could say if Cardano could hit a market cap of $150 billion, then an asset with much better fundamentals, with much better community, with much better technology, with TikTok potentially building on it, and if not TikTok, other massive organizations. Anyone would say that Polkadot can also hit the exact same market cap, if not higher. There's so little money in the space. So much about this space is totally undiscovered. And by the way, how much capital does this massive community have to incentivize future growth on this ecosystem? Well, the Polkadot treasury is over $200 million. Current assets in the Polkadot treasury include 28 million DOT tokens, 9.5 million Tether stablecoins, 8 million Circle stablecoins, and 4.8 million Mythos chain tokens. That's how much capital it has, $200 million. That's a lot. What happens if the price of Polkadot does become $100? Then just in Polkadot tokens alone to invest in this ecosystem, the Polkadot treasury is going to have 2.8 or $3 billion of capital to invest in this space. So massive, the potential flywheel that could take place for this asset. So stay on top of Mythos chain. Again, the Polkadot treasury has 5 million Mythos chain tokens. Mythos chain is, we talked about it in previous videos, FIFA building on it, Pudgy Penguins building on it, NFL games building on it. So if Mythos chain, which is clearly massively undervalued right now at 22 cents and a market cap of $200 million with all those huge organizations building on it, it's massively undervalued. So if that can hit $10 per token, then Polkadot would have $50 million potentially of the Mythos chain asset to invest in the ecosystem. So much going on. We have to stay on top of the space, especially as developments from the potential TikTok acquisition start playing out over the next few weeks.